Good moment.
Good morning and welcome to another day. Welcome to our daily contemplation. I'm Juna.
Sabine.
And we're from Synergy in Motion, where it's all about living true to you, what makes your heart laugh, and the magic and wonder of and awe of living.
Mm-hmm. And what we do in these morning contemplations is we contemplate the hexagrams of the I Ching with a very, very light touch through the lens of human design and gene keys.
Yeah. So this week we're all about the 45th gene key or the 45th gate hexagram, and it's all about gathering together. And as you'll hear soon, it was in the olden days, way back when, how people gathered together over resources and how coming together in that synergy was better than living alone and hunting a buffalo. Let's get a few people together and hunt a buffalo. So it's the getting together around shared resources. It's really a material gate. It's all about material things.
Mm-hmm. And the strength in gathering together around those resources. And when you look into history, back then, it was life and death, whether you have something or you have not something, whether you were able to actually kill the buffalo or plant the seeds and maintain the fields. And it is out of that need to come together and have resources, we created a trade system that is based still in that time. And back then the resources were limited, and it created a trade system that believes in the limitation of resources and resourcefulness. And it is so deeply ingrained that we're still to this day functioning from that belief of limitation and limited resources. Our money system wouldn't work if everybody could print their own money. This whole exchange, the whole economy would collapse, even though our governments do just print money, or right now they're not printing, they're just entering the numbers into the systems through their computers. But what that does, not the creating money, but the believing in limitation, it really created the dominance of those who have versus those who have not. Right?
Yeah, so in order to protect the resources so that the people could eat and all of that, there was this dominance that came in. The kings and the queens that had to dominate and protect the people and the resources. So dominance is one of the shadows in the gene keys of communion. So we can live in communion, but we have, through that system of lack and trade, that resources are limited, the dominance came in.
Mm-hmm. And it is really also maintaining that belief in limitation. We talked yesterday about trusting yourself. Today we're really looking at, what are you functioning from? Are you functioning from the belief in your limited resources and your limited resourcefulness? Or do you function from that knowing and trust in your own resourcefulness, which then also gets you to the resources that you actually require?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the lie is that there's a limited amount of resources, and we call that, lack mentality and all of that. So the lack of resources versus, my mind just went.
Versus the trust in your resourcefulness. Because
Yes.
resources are to some extent limited, but our resourcefulness is not limited.
Yes.
Like when you look at the fossil fuel industry, how much that is maintained because it is limited, thus it really works for this economy, versus all those new inventions that really utilize unlimited resources like the sunlight and the energy in the air, but those are not supported by the economy because it is limitless,
Right.
and would create a system that lives in abundance.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're interested in is really looking at, what does that have to do with us? What does that have to do with you? Where are you functioning from that limitation? when you look at your relationships with your partner, with your family, at work, with your friends, are you functioning from that trading? Like when you give something, do you expect something in return? Or do you function from that sharing?
Where you have this abundance and you share and you don't care if anything comes back to you. It's not about that. It's just about sharing from the abundance.
Mm-hmm.
And we're really looking at, this old system, this tribal based system of trade. It's deep in our DNA. But good news is it's changing, and we can see it all around, that there's this desire to share from our abundance. And you can also see in people like this downsizing thing and realizing, I don't need, 2 cars. I don't need a car even, or I don't need this big house. I don't need all the toys. And people are downsizing and they're like, okay, what can I do with less? And they're letting their treasures go. And it used to be, even 10, 20 years ago, building up the treasure stores. Mm-hmm. And now more and more it's letting go and realizing the resourcefulness within is so much more than about things, material
and
things.
There is a joy in that resourcefulness that you cannot find in the resources themselves. When you create with your resourcefulness the resources, there's a dance, there's a synergy starting that really brings life forth. But when you protect and hunker down on your resources, and this is mine, and like if I do something for you, you have to do something for me, which sometimes is correct, but a lot of the times it is actually not, and limits us dynamically.
It makes us believe the lie that resources are limited.
Mm-hmm. And thus we are limited. That's the lie.
And that our resourcefulness is limited. Mm-hmm. But all of us, also in all of us, is an incredible resourcefulness, right? You can, if you are down on your money or whatever, how resourceful do you become? If you have limited resources, how much more resourceful can you become?
Mm-hmm. And I played this little game this morning in my head. What would I do, or how would I be different with money if I knew that I could just print it? Right? Perceive that energy.
Wow.
Like adding that limitlessness to money. It totally changes it for me. And there's like the game of money is with limitation, but how would I be different in it if it wasn't limited? Yeah, and if I would trust myself that I'm resourceful to generate in that system of limitation and perceive the fun of that. So for today, really tune in, play with that, your belief in your limitation, of your resourcefulness. And notice when you interact with people, are you trading or are you sharing? And are you falling into competition, which is trading, like you have more than me and I'm going to get more than you?
Or dominance.
Yeah. Or then jealousy, ooh, that person has more than me, instead of, wow, look at this. So in the limited system, you have to create by yourself, and in the limitless system, you can really create together in a totally different way.
You can gather together and share the resources. And you have to do it in a way that is true to you. It's not about sharing because sharing is the new caring. Volunteerism is the greatest thing since sliced bread. No, it has to come from within and from your authority. And does this work for you?
Yeah, very, very important. That's the baseline for everything.
Yeah.
Like it comes from you, your truth. So just take this moment right now to just tune into you and your resourcefulness. And during this day, just play. Can you trust your resourcefulness? And where have you not trusted your resourcefulness? And what doors would it open for you if you did trust your resourcefulness, your genius, your magic? What would it be like to ignite your magic and bring forth your resourcefulness in full power?
Thank you so much for joining us today. It was beautiful. We talked a lot about that. It's a very rich hexagram, full of, sort of the old tribal, and then into the, like, springing into the new of this resourcefulness. I love this. And yeah, with all of this, with you, remember, you are creating a whole new world today with your resourcefulness. What's it going to be?
And we'll see you tomorrow here at Synergy in Motion.
Bye.
Bye.